Good evening. On behalf of the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission and the Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs, welcome to the 2022 Immigrant Leadership Awards. I'm Rich Whipple, Acting Director of OSEA, and your host for tonight. We're delighted that you're joining us for this special event to honor the powerful contributions of local immigrant leaders, supporters, and champions. In addition to celebrating tonight's honorees, we'll be hearing from city leaders, special guests, and enjoying two exciting performances. So let's get right to it. We'll begin with the Ramaytush Ohlone land acknowledgement, which we read at every meeting. We, the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission, acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. As the indigenous stewards of this land, and in accordance with their traditions, the Ramaytush Ohlone have never ceded, lost, nor forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for all peoples who reside in their traditional territory. As guests, we recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community, and by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. To begin the program, we'll hear performance from the Bay Area's own Mariachi Nueva Generación. Founded in 2002, they have performed throughout Northern California, and we are so excited for them to open our awards event. Please take it away.
Estamos festejando premios al liderazgo de los inmigrantes, organizado por la Comisión de los Derechos de los Inmigrantes para la ciudad de San Francisco. Estamos felices de celebrar con ustedes su mariachi Nueva Generación. Sí, sí, señor.
Thank you, Mariachi Nueva Generacion. What a great way to start this evening's awards. We're very grateful to hear from several outstanding leaders tonight. We're thrilled to have all of them here during Immigrant Heritage Month and for the Immigrant Leadership Awards. And first up, we'll hear a message from Mayor London Breed's office from staff member Ivy Lee. Thank you for being here on behalf of our mayor. Over to you, Ivy.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I really want to congratulate all of tonight's awardees on behalf of the mayor. Your work on behalf of immigrant communities continues to be amazing and inspiring. I had the good fortune actually to serve on the Immigrant Rights Commission when I was a very young attorney, and I learned so much from my fellow commissioners, but more specifically from the immigrants that I got a chance to work with. Just over this past year, you've helped asylum seekers win their cases. You've fought for the rights of trans migrants, opened the first woman-led food hall in America, and worked to improve the lives of community members across the city in multiple languages. And Adrienne, I just want to say that when our former late mayor, Ed Lee, asked you to create a way to keep our communities safer, especially our Asian elders, you not only rose to that task and established the Community Ambassador Program that is now a model that's been replicated nationally. I mean, I think this is one of the very first examples that I can think of an alternative to a law enforcement response, and a paradigm example of how when we say that we keep ourselves, when community keeps community safer, this is the example that I think of. Thank you for being that visionary and for all of the work that you did on the ground and in City Hall to make sure that this model would continue. I had the really good fortune of working with people like Norma in the Tenderloin, and I just want to give a big shout out just to all of the folks that are residents in the TL who have been holding it down on behalf of the community for decades. It has not been a crisis for them. It has been an opportunity. They have made it that way. We wouldn't have, Turk and Hyde Mini Park. We wouldn't have Bodecker. We would not have safe passage, let alone La Cocina without them. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for keeping the community safe, and especially our children. So tonight, we're not just celebrating you all, but we're also celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Immigrant Rights Commission, which is really, this is one of the only immigrant rights commissions in the entire country. And I think it's a testimony to you all that volunteer your time, your energy, and pour your hearts and souls into making this city better, for the fact that we have a wealth of immigrants in our city. We're proud to be the forefront of immigrant and language access rights, and we definitely have more to do, because we know, each one of us knows, that the racism, the xenophobia, they haven't gone away. Sometimes they decrease by a little bit, or they're hidden by a little bit. But because of the work that these commissioners do, that this commission does, and the staff, and Richard, especially you holding it down, thank you. This is something that goes unseen all too often, and we need to appreciate it and see it and call it out. The last thing that I want to do is to just say congratulations again to the honorees. I think you are truly the unsung heroes of our city that people need to hear about, because you are the ones who have had doors and walls erected to stop you, tell you that you cannot do something, you don't belong, but yet you hope, you dream, you seek, and you persist. Each of you has never given up in your dedicated work to illuminate the immigrant experience, and you have all acted as pioneers to open doors for yourselves and for others to the benefit of our entire city. So thank you for reminding us every single day of what our city can be. Thank you again to the Immigrant Rights Commission and OSEA for hosting this important event. And on behalf of the mayor, I declare June as Immigrant Heritage Month.
Thank you so much, Ivy, for those words, for speaking on behalf of Mayor Breed, and for all the work that you do for our immigrant community as well. We really appreciate you being here and your comments. Next up, we have a special message from the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi. And here to represent Congresswoman Pelosi is Rebecca Roberts. Rebecca, thanks for being here. Over to you.
Oh, happy to be here. Thank you. I have a letter from the Speaker. Dear friends, thank you for inviting me to join you in recognizing today's honorees for their tireless work in supporting immigrant communities here in San Francisco. Our nation's immigrants are the constant reinvigoration of America. Each wave of newcomers brings their patriotism, bravery, and determination to succeed on our shores, and in doing so, makes America more American. As students and service members, entrepreneurs and public servants, parents and neighbors, these new Americans affirm our country's fundamental founding truth: our diversity is our strength. Democrats in Congress remain committed to passing comprehensive immigration reform that recognizes and embraces the talents and contributions of our immigrants. We will continue to work towards a comprehensive solution for our country's broken immigration system, and we will never stop fighting to ensure that America remains a land of opportunity for those who work hard, abide by our laws, and dare to dream. Thank you again for your leadership to support San Francisco's immigrant communities, and best wishes for a memorable celebration. Best regards, Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for those words. And thank you to Congresswoman Pelosi for all that she does for us and in San Francisco and for the immigrant community specifically. Next up, we have a message from Shaman Walton, President of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
Good afternoon. This is Shaman Walton, President of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, representing District 10. And I just want to take the time to say congratulations to all of our Immigrant Leadership Award recipients. Whether you spent the past year helping women immigrants launch small businesses during the pandemic, or improving neighborhood safety for our immigrant families, you've all stepped up in ways that make life better for our immigrants here in San Francisco. So congratulations to La Cocina, Anjali Rimi of Parivar Bay Area, Tatiana Alabsi of Tenderloin Safe Passage, Norma Carrera of Tenderloin Safe Passage and La Voz Latina, Julian Jaravata, the UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative, Adrienne Pon, former director of the Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs. Thank you all so much for your great work. Thank you all so much for what you do for our immigrant community. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. Now I would like to invite San Francisco City Administrator Carmen Chu to share a few words. We're lucky to have her with us this evening as well. City Administrator, the floor is yours.
Hi, Richard. How are you? Hi, commissioners. I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful evening. And of course, to all of the folks who are tuning in today to the Immigrant Rights Commission's celebration and award ceremony, I just simply want to say I can't wait till we get back in person where we can share and celebrate and give you all a round of applause and hearty thanks for all of your good work. My name is Carmen Chu. I serve as San Francisco City Administrator, but the person that I am isn't the City Administrator. It really is a daughter of immigrants and someone who has seen firsthand the struggles that many in our immigrant communities face when they first land in the United States. My entire family were immigrants here. My mom and dad, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles all immigrated from far away to start a new life and what they perceived as a better opportunity here in the United States. They worked hard, they struggled, they didn't have health care, they couldn't really communicate often for the services they needed, but they still persisted and they still made a wonderful family and home for all of us, many of my own cousins, myself, my sisters. And I think this really embodies the spirit of our immigrant community, this ability to grow, to adapt, to be resilient, to fight for what you believe in, and to make any new place, a foreign place, your home. And I really want to simply say a big thank you and a congratulations to all of the awardees tonight. You have each made such a huge difference in our San Francisco community, whether it's starting up new support for businesses, women who would like to start up their own businesses through La Cocina, helping to create safe passage in the Tenderloin, helping to provide youth opportunities, and all the work that you're doing at UCSF Health, and to Adrienne, all of her leadership here in the city. It has all helped to create a different experience, a different narrative that wouldn't have been possible without each and every one of you. And so I hope that this opportunity today is not the last of our celebrations to recognize your great work, because truly we need more. We know that we're struggling. We know that there are more and more work to do to help dispel the myths of our immigrant communities, to help continue to support each and every new wave of immigrants who may come to the United States and have their first footing here. I also want to make sure that we all take this time to just recognize that our immigrant story is the American story. All of our struggles is the American struggle. And the more that we can put your faces, your voice out there to share what those stories of resilience and achievement have been, I think that we'll all be a better country for it. So again, I just want to thank all of you for not only helping to produce this event, Richard, the entire OCS staff and team and commissioners who are putting this event together, but again, thank you for everybody who has helped to create San Francisco's community of immigrants, one that I think is truly unparalleled in this world. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, City Administrator Chu. So lucky to have your leadership, and thank you for your comments and your story.
Thank you.
So thank you again to Mayor Breed, Congresswoman Pelosi, President Walton, and City Administrator Chu. Been a pleasure to have you all here. And we are also joined tonight by some other special guests that we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge. We would like to welcome and recognize members of the Consular Corps, including the Consul General of Ireland, also the Dean of our Consular Corps, and Consul Generals and staff from the following countries: Colombia, El Salvador, Mexico, the Philippines, Switzerland, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom. And in addition, we'd like to recognize staff from the offices of Supervisors Connie Chan, Myrna Melgar, and President Walton. Thank you all for being here. Each of our awardees this evening is receiving certificates of honor from Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. Thank you to Congresswoman Pelosi and her office for honoring each of these incredible leaders. We'd also like to thank Mayor Breed for the certificates of honor for each of our awardees as well as the official proclamation declaring June as Immigrant Heritage Month here in San Francisco. Thank you, Mayor Breed, for supporting our city's immigrant past, present, and future. And now, while we're really here, to the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission and the reason to be here, celebrating and honoring immigrant leaders, supporters, and champions. So with that, I'm pleased to introduce the Chair and Vice Chair of the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission, the Honorable Chair Celine Kennelly and Vice Chair Mario Paz.
Thank you, Acting Director Whipple. We are so pleased to welcome you all tonight for the Immigrant Leadership Awards. The San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission first held this awards ceremony in 2017 as a way to commemorate and celebrate 20 years of the Commission. This is our 5th Immigrant Leadership Award celebration, and your math is correct, it's our 25th year as a commission. Tonight, we are honouring local immigrant leaders and champions of the immigrant community for their unmatched leadership and dedication. We hope that this celebration serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of us.
The Immigrant Rights Commission serves as an advisory body to the Mayor and Board of Supervisors on issues related to the quality of life and civic participation of all immigrants in San Francisco. Our commission meets on the second Monday of the month at 5:30 p.m. All of our meetings are open to the public, and we encourage you to attend a future meeting. Right now, they are virtual, and you can find out more on our website, sf.gov/immigrant rights. Back to you, Chair.
Thanks, Mario. At this time, we'd like to take the opportunity to introduce all of our amazing Immigrant Rights Commissioners. So Commissioners, please turn on your video so that we can see your lovely faces. I am very pleased to introduce Commissioners Alahe Ensani, Haragu Gaime, Ryan Kojaste, Zay David Latt, Lucia Obregon, Sarah Sousa, Nima Rahimi, Jessie Ruiz, and Alicia Wong. And lastly, we would like to give a very special thanks to Commissioners Franklin M. Ricarte and Donna Fuji, who have served as co-chairs of this event's awards committee. Thank you so much to all of our wonderful commissioners. You may now turn off your videos as we move into the main portion of our program.
So without further ado, we're very excited to introduce the first honoree. Our first recognition is for the Entrepreneur Leader Award. This award recognizes the leader of an immigrant-run or owned small business that supports immigrant communities. Back to you, Chair.
To present this award, we are joined by Commissioners Ricarte and Fuji. Commissioner Ricarte, please tell us about our first awardee.
Thank you, Chair Canelli. It's an honor to be here. Tonight, we have the pleasure of recognizing La Cocina. Founded in 2005 in San Francisco, La Cocina is a nonprofit incubator that helps low-income small business owners grow their food businesses. La Cocina focuses on supporting women from communities of color and immigrant communities. They provide affordable kitchen space, as well as technical assistance and market opportunities.
Before COVID-19, La Cocina helped create more than 250 jobs. In April of 2021, La Cocina made history with the opening of its municipal marketplace, the first woman-led food hall in America. We're so excited to present this award to La Cocina and all its entrepreneurs. Congratulations, La Cocina. Here to accept this award is their Executive Director, Deborah Alvarez Rodriguez. Over to you, Deborah.
Thank you so much, Commissioners Ricarte and Fuji. Thank you for your kind and generous words, and thank you for allowing us to be together in celebration of immigrants. We are so excited. On behalf of La Cocina, we thank you for honoring our organization with the Entrepreneur Leadership Award. It is a beautiful award, and we are ecstatic. Thank you. You know, talent is universal, but opportunity is not. The success of La Cocina-born entrepreneurs is a testament to the skills, the talent, the resiliency, the grit, and the leadership of entrepreneurs throughout San Francisco and beyond. Let's put it the real way, which is our entrepreneurs are the backbone of our economy. Restaurant and food businesses are not merely ways to build wealth. In fact, the truth is they are the catalyst for growing an inclusive and equitable economy. On any given day, restaurant owners work with their customers, farmers, vendors, and the city. The vast majority are immigrant women and women of color. It is a mighty force for positive good and change. La Cocina entrepreneurs are making the delicious food we all want, and leading the communities we want to be a part of. So with that, I say once again, thank you very much for this honor. And thank you for the incredible vision and work of the San Francisco Commission on the Immigrant Rights San Francisco Commission on Immigrant Rights. And as we say, sí se puede.
Sí se puede. Congratulations again, Deborah. Back to you, Chair Canelli.
Thank you, Commissioner Ricarte. Our next award is for Grassroots Leader. This award recognizes nonprofit organizations or individuals who have demonstrated extraordinary leadership for immigrant communities. This year, we are recognizing 3 outstanding individuals in this category. Here to present the first Grassroots Leader Award are Commissioner Obregon and Commissioner Latt. Over to you, Commissioner Obregon.
Thank you, Chair Canelli. It's an honor to be here. Tonight, we are recognizing the work of Anjali Rimi. Anjali is a transgender woman with roots in India She is the president of America's only trans-led organization that centers South Asian trans queer identities, Parivar Bay Area.
Anjali also oversees the economic justice program at Parivar Bay Area, providing micro grants to trans entrepreneurs to set up small businesses in India and beyond. Anjali also serves on numerous sports and advisory committees that impact LGBT communities. It is our honor to present the Grassroots Leader Award to you. Over to you, Anjali.
Thank you very much for this honor. I am very humbled to receive the Immigrant Leadership Award 2022 and accept it on behalf of many queer transgender immigrants who are looking to belong in the San Francisco Bay Area, America as a whole. Thank you. I'm very delighted and humbled. I dedicate this to our South Asian queer trans family at Parivar Bay Area who do tireless grassroots work. I dedicate this award to the transgender, diverse Latinx and Black-brown siblings who are trapped at the borders and respectfully pay homage to the trans LGBT ancestors who died in ICE detention centers waiting for justice. Most importantly, I dedicate this award to my mother, who is trying to rebuild her life as a new immigrant, as an elder in San Francisco Bay Area. The transgender South Asian immigrant woman who fled my home country over 2 decades ago, coming to America, only to be beaten up within the first month of arriving due to racism and transphobia, subsequently rendered homeless, stateless, fired from my work for my gender transitioning, and eventually being forced out of this country. I tell you, I powerfully exist. I exist to tell you that we LGBTQ immigrants belong right here in San Francisco and America. Given a chance, we can and become contributing members of this American society. I invite you to stand for immigrant rights everywhere. Work at Parivar Bay Area, based in San Francisco, alongside our partner organizations, Ella para Trans Latinas and LGBT Asylum Project is exactly that. Protect the vulnerable lives and immigrant rights of LGBTQ refugees, asylees, and internally displaced migrants. We need your voice of solidarity that recognizes that protecting those of us being prosecuted and killed due to our sexual orientation and gender identities is fundamental to the foundation of the healthy American society. We are America. So turn up for trans lives. In closing, I sincerely thank the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission for recognizing me with this award and for trailblazing for the entire country. The many San Francisco city and county agencies, including the Office of Transgender Initiative, San Francisco Mayor's Office, that are setting the standard for the nation in treating and including LGBTQ+ transgender immigrants equitably and letting us know that we are not strangers from a different shore, but we are all one big parivar, one big family. Thank you for this honor again. Namaste, Satsangi Salam.
Yes, congratulations, Anjali, and thank you for that powerful message. Back to you, Chair Kennelly.
Thank you, Commissioner Obregon. Vice Chair Paz, are you back with us?
Yes, I am. And our next award is for another amazing grassroots leader. Back to you, Chair.
And to present this award, we are joined by Commissioner Rimi and Commissioner Wong. Commissioner Rimi, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Chair Kennelly. It's an honor to be here tonight and to congratulate Tatiana Alabsi on her Grassroots Leader Award. Tatiana was born and raised in Russia, where she earned her medical degree and worked in a gynecology clinic. She later moved to Yemen with her husband. In 2014, Tatiana and her family came to San Francisco's Tenderloin neighborhood, where she began supporting other immigrants, starting with her Arabic and Russian-speaking neighbors.
Tatiana started working with the Tenderloin Community Benefit District's Tenderloin Safe Passage program as a volunteer. And today, she is its assistant manager. Tatiana is incredibly passionate about supporting immigrants in any way that she can, helping individuals navigate community resources to interpretation and translation. Congratulations, Tatiana, and over to you.
Good evening, everyone. And I'm so happy to be here around you. It is incredible and so emotional moment in my life get and receive this special award. Thank you so much. I would like to thank all of you who believe in me and work with me. 7 years ago, my family and I start new life in San Francisco without English, without friends, without previous life. During this time, I meet my amazing communities, Tenderloin Arab community and Tenderloin Safe Passage community. Every day we work together hand by hand to make difference in Tenderloin. Every day we did support for families and kids in Tenderloin. And now it's not only my friends and or my coworkers. For now, it's my new amazing family. Thank you so much. I'm proud to be part of my community. I'm glad to work with you. And I can't make anything without you. Make fantastic community. Thank you so much. I very appreciate for all your support, for all your work together. And I love you so much, Tenderloin. I love you so much, Tenderloin Community Benefits District. I love so much Tenderloin Arab community. And I love so much my Tenderloin Community Safe Passage. Thank you. Thank you so much for this special moment in my life.
Thank you, Tatiana. Congratulations again. We love you. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing. And I will now hand it to Chair Canella.
Thank you, Commissioner Rahimi. So next is the last, but certainly not the least, of our Grassroots Leader Awards.
And to present this award, we are joined by Commissioner Souza and Commissioner Ruiz. Commissioner Souza, tell us about our next awardee.
Thank you, Vice Chair Paz. We are recognizing an important community leader, Norma Carrera, originally from Veracruz, Mexico. Norma Carrera has been a proud Tenderloin resident for over 25 years. And now I'm going to pass it to Commissioner Ruiz.
Gracias. Cuando Norma llegó por primera vez al Tenderloin, no había muchos servicios disponibles en español. Un día se dio cuenta de un volante para una nueva organización llamada La Voz Latina. Norma se unió como voluntaria temprana. A través de La Voz Latina, Norma trabajó para hacer realidad el sueño de un mejor Tenderloin para todos nosotros. Nosotros nos sentimos orgullosos de presentarle a ella este premio. Felicidades, Norma. Te paso la palabra a ti.
When she first arrived in the Tenderloin, when Norma first arrived, there weren't many services available in Spanish. Then one day she saw a flyer for a new organization called La Voz Latina. Norma joined as an early volunteer. Through La Voz, Norma works to realize the dream of a better Tenderloin for everyone. We are honored to present this award to her today. Congratulations, Norma, and over to you.
Gracias. Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Norma Carrera, cofundadora de La Voz Latina y Pasaje Seguro en Tenderloin de San Francisco. Mi comunidad son todos latinos, árabes, chinos, afroamericanos, americanos, filipinos y mi comunidad LGBTQ.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Norma Carrera, and I work with La Voz Latina. I'm happy to be here representing the Tenderloin and all my fellow people, the Asian people, Hispanic people, the Afro-Latinos, and the LGBTQ community.
Me siento tan agradecida con Dios por estar hoy día con todos ustedes.
I'm very grateful to God to be here with all of you today.
Este reconocimiento es para toda mi comunidad inmigrante.
This recognition is for my entire immigrant community.
Agradezco tanto por dejarme ser la voz de muchos inmigrantes.
I am so thankful to have the privilege to be the voice for so many immigrants.
Mi sueño es tu sueño.
My dream is your dream.
Juntos somos más fuertes.
And together we are stronger.
Nunca olvides.
Never forget that.
Sí se puede. Sí lo podemos hacer.
We can do it. We can do it.
Yes, we can do it. Sí se puede. Gracias.
Thank you.
Sí se puede, Norma. Muchas felicidades. Over to you, Acting Director Whipple.
Thank you, Commissioner, and congratulations to all our awardees so far. Such an incredible group of individuals and so inspiring. Your commitment to immigrant communities has been particularly impressive this past year, but we have more awards, so stay with us until the end of the program. But briefly, I'd like to acknowledge some other special guests in attendance tonight, including some of our city leadership and previous Immigrant Leadership Award honorees who are here. At this time, we'd like to welcome and recognize members of our city leadership, including Pau Crego, Director of the Office of Transgender Initiatives, Michael Lambert, our city librarian, and our county clerk, Diane Ray. Thank you all for being here. And in addition, we'd like to recognize past winners who are here tonight, including Adubu Traore from the African Advocacy Network, Soha Abdu from the Arab Family Programs Coordinator with Chinatown Community Development Center, Ella para Trans Latinas, members of the San Francisco Immigrant Legal and Education Network and the San Francisco Immigration Legal Defense Collaborative, members of the San Francisco Pathways to Citizenship Initiative, and members of the Stop AAPI Hate Initiative. Thank you for being here and supporting our awardees and commission tonight. Back to our chair and vice chair to continue with the awards.
Thank you, Acting Director Whipple. Our next award is for the Youth Leadership Award. This award recognizes a courageous immigrant leader under the age of 35 who has helped or inspired other immigrant youth in their community and beyond.
And to present this award, we are joined by Commissioner Ricarte and Commissioner Obregon. Commissioner Ricarte, over to you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Paz. Our next awardee, Julian Jaravata, is a community organizer with Malaya San Francisco. He graduated from Stanford University with a major in comparative studies in race and ethnicity. He currently works with the Filipino Community Center and has led efforts throughout the Bay Area to support the Filipino community in addressing the right to culturally responsive education.
Julian's work also focuses on amplifying the concerns of overseas Filipinos, including supporting human rights in the Philippines. He is dedicated to ensuring that Filipinos and all immigrant communities can fulfill the promise of democratic participation wherever they may be. We are so inspired by your advocacy, Julian. Congratulations, and over to you.
So thank you, everyone. I'm so very honored and humbled to receive this award. It's very great to be celebrating the achievements of immigrant communities all throughout San Francisco. But you know, I really have to give credit to the Filipino community that has continued to fight in San Francisco and all around the world alongside other communities struggling for change. It's this community that has always been at the forefront of the fight for local issues in our city, while also showing that Filipinos are also a global force for change. Over 6,000 Filipinos leave the Philippines every day in search of opportunities and livelihood that are not afforded to them by their own government, only to face exploitation and abuses abroad. And so we've seen many of those cases even here in San Francisco. You know, and unrelentingly, our people continue to fight for the society we deserve. Our people continue to show that it is our legacy of resistance that allows us to see that we are the decisive force that will help to change the world. So I wanted to thank the Filipino Community Center, Malaya Movement, and of course my family for teaching me that when we organize together, that we are the ones to be able to make change. And I really want to celebrate that together with everyone here. So thank you again for this award. It is really great to be here.
Mabuhay, Julian. Back to you, Chair Paz.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner, again. Our next award is for the Vera Haile Champion of Justice Award. This award, named in memory of Immigrant Rights Commissioner Vera Haile, is for an organization or individual that has demonstrated courage and advocacy for justice and equality during turbulent times.
To present this award, we are joined by Commissioner Fuji and Commissioner Kojeste. Commissioner Fuji, over to you.
Thank you, Chair Canelli. The UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative was created in 2019 by leading clinicians and UCSF medical students to support families fleeing persecution and violence. Their diverse leaders use their own life experiences and training to help immigrants. They document signs of torture and ill treatment and advocate for human and inclusive policies.
The UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative partners with immigration attorneys throughout Northern and Central California, physicians, immigration judges, and community organizations in order to provide pro bono services to the immigrant community. They provide medical and psychological evaluations for asylum seekers, which have had a 100% asylum grant rate for all adjudicated cases. In addition to the support with asylum evaluations, they focus on advocacy work rooted in their extensive research and data. There is so much more to say about this amazing program happening at UCSF, but I will pass the mic to Dr. Suzanne Barakat and Mar Curry.
What an incredible honor, particularly knowing you drove around the Bay and hand-delivered these to all of us. Thank you. We are all truly humbled by this recognition by the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission. This award is a reflection of the work of the tireless medical students who run the clinic, the faculty leadership at UCSF, our many evaluators who perform these time-intensive evaluations pro bono, immigration attorneys we partner with across the city and the state, and UCSF leadership for their seed funding. The crux of what we do is we have doctors and mental health experts who listen deeply to the stories. They evaluate the scars of the trauma and turn that evidence into a witness statement for immigration judges. I'm inspired every day by the resiliency of the clients we serve, who remind us of our collective humanity and hope for a better future. I'd like to invite Mar, our first client to obtain asylum, to share a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mar Curry, and I migrated to the US from Brazil in 2011 because I was persecuted due to my gender identity and my expression. My life changed entirely because of the UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative. They provide a safe space to disclose multi-generational trauma as they collect additional evidence to support my declaration. I went to the asylum office for an interview and my asylum was granted indefinitely. I went back to school. I became a medical assistant at San Francisco State University and a community mental health worker at City College of San Francisco. And now I'm working almost for 2 years at San Francisco Department of Public Health as an HIV care navigator. I feel safer now carrying a green card and even more as a trilingual community worker living in San Francisco. I am eternally grateful to the UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative, and as a first client, it's an honor to be here in this evening, accepting with them the Vera Haile Champion Justice Award. Gratitude.
Congratulations again to the UCSF Health and Human Rights Initiative. Back to you, Chair Kennelly.
Thank you, Commissioner Fuji, and congratulations to all of our awardees so far. Our last award for the evening is a very special award for distinguished leadership in public service. And I will pass it over to our Vice Chair to introduce our honoree.
Thank you, Chair. And this truly is an honor, and I get to share a very special recognition of distinguished leadership in public service for the great Adrienne Pon. Adrienne Pon is a native San Franciscan with experience in the private sector, nonprofit management, and local government. Adrienne has served in many roles during her career. She recently retired from the city and county of San Francisco, where she developed innovative programs and initiatives as longtime founding executive director of the Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs, and executive director of the mayor and the secretary of the Immigrant Rights Commission. Prior to that, she served as executive director in the mayor's Office of Community Development. Adrienne is currently the interim executive director of the Asian Pacific Fund.
We would like to recognize Adrienne's extensive work on behalf of immigrant communities, from grant making to public policy and language and digital equity. Throughout her career, she has remained committed to social justice and inclusion, and to creating access, opportunities, and resources for all underserved communities. For all these things and more, we are honouring Adrienne tonight for her long-standing dedication to the Immigrant Rights Commission and the Office of Civic Engagement and Immigrant Affairs. Knowing her as well as we do, we could go on and on with more wonderful accomplishments, but I will hand it over to Adrienne herself to say a few words. Adrienne, welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this recognition. I'm really touched and I'm grateful to be among tonight's honorees, all of whom I greatly admire. And even though this event always happens during the NBA finals, I'm happy to be here with all of you, especially since the Dubs are up. So serving the people and communities of San Francisco, where I was born and raised, was a highlight of my work with the city. The Immigrant Rights Commission, in partnership with OCEA and together with our community brothers and sisters, works to ensure that immigrants, regardless of language or status, are included, are celebrated and valued for all that they bring to making this city and this nation great. The IRC has distinguished itself not only for its commitment to immigrants, BIPOC, transgender, and other communities of color, but also for creating a safe space to listen and to hear, and to treating everyone and each other with dignity, respect, and kindness. For each of us, it means fighting hate, violence, discrimination, and inequity by turning the passion, anger, frustration, and rhetoric into meaningful actions and policies that have lasting impact on transforming lives. But our work is unfinished, so I join you in our vision for a diverse, inclusive America that is truly a place where we can all live safely, be happy, contribute, and thrive. Thank you so much, and go Warriors!
Congratulations, Adrienne. We are delighted to have been able to honour you this evening. Now, as we near the end of this year's award ceremony, we would like to recognise somebody who has been an integral part of this event since we first held it in 2017. And I will hand it off to Commissioner Ricarte to say more.
Thank you, Chair Kennelly. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Commissioner Donna Fuji and recognize her 6 years on the Commission, especially as co-chair of the Immigrant Leadership Awards. Today's ceremony will be Commissioner Fuji's last official event for the Commission, as she says goodbye and move on to more awesomer things. Commissioner Fuji and I started together at the Commission, and then with the urging and guidance of Chair Kennelly, we helped establish the Immigrant Leadership Awards. And for the early days, I must say, it was Commissioner Fuji's enthusiasm, insight, and advocacy that we were able to discover and pay tribute to everyday heroes in our immigrant communities who don't always receive the spotlight for their work. Commissioner Fuji, thank you. You will be missed. I will miss you terribly. Best of luck and Godspeed.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Commissioner Ricarte, for your kind words. It's been my greatest honor and pleasure to serve on this awesome commission. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to my fellow commissioners and the OCS staff for all your hard work and dedication in serving our immigrant community. So I'll miss you and all my best of success, continued success. Take care.
Thank you, Commissioner Ricarte, and thank you, Commissioner Fuji. It's always a sad day when a commissioner departs the commission, but we would like to thank you on behalf of all of the staff at OCEA and all of the commissioners from the Immigrant Rights Commission. We would like to thank you for your service, for your thoughtfulness, for your dedication, and we wish you the very, very best for the future.
Thank you so much.
Up next, we have a very special performance from Alan Balaez Lopez. Alan is an Afro-Indigenous poet and artist from Oaxaca, Mexico. Their work addresses the daily realities of undocumented migrants in the US. Alan has also been organizing with undocumented migrants in the US for over 10 years. Take it away, Alan.
Hello, my name is Alan, and I will be sharing a poem titled Future Story, dedicated to all queer and trans migrants and children of migrants. Future Story. One day, borders will be a word that we study, a word so fascinating that future generations will try to understand. And thankfully, there will be no grammar for comprehension. Nothing will be forgotten, but borders will be a word that is unimaginable because in the future, the lack of care for other people will be something no one has experience with. In the future, we will bring our memory. There will be many creation stories to how we got to where we are. The creation stories will be difficult to tell. We will sob from the pain of betrayal, conversion therapy, exile, refugee crises, disappeared relatives, endangered languages, extinct species, and the disaster of having to bear witness to it all. We will also shake with joy when we describe what it felt like when nations ended and settlers realized that they were the demise of relationality, when settlers begged indigenous peoples to take care of the land, and when indigenous people made settlers sign papers, the same ones settlers have been so obsessed with, stating that they gave up their citizenship to the nation, that they gave up all their laws, and that they gave up all the land that they had accumulated and mistreated. We will also shake with joy when the storytellers get to the part where the toddlers and the elders made offerings so grand to the ocean, to the volcanoes, and to dried waterscapes that words they had never heard before started coming to them in dreams. At first, they were terrified, but when they learned to listen closely, they realized that the words were whispers and songs, quiet tunes with instructions of how to offer and accept care. The care that the whispers and songs had once experienced but had since been denied. None of the stories will be easy to tell or witness. Our bodies will only bear to tell and listen to them once every few years, because in those moments, we will meet the past in its barest state, but we will insist on the stories. Thank you.
Thank you for that very, very powerful performance, Alan. That includes our award ceremony for tonight. Again, a huge congratulations to all of our awardees. And a very big thank you to OSEA staff and Acting Director Whipple.
Thank you, Chair. And I also would like to again congratulate all of our awardees this evening. Thank you to Director Pon for her years of leadership and her act as well as Director of OSEA. And thank you to Commissioner Fuji for your years of contribution to the Commission. And now I'd like to leave tonight with a few words from Acting Director Richard Whipple. So please stay with us a little bit longer.
Thank you, Chair Kennelly, Vice Chair Paz, fantastic members of the Immigrant Rights Commission, our honored guests, leaders, and especially tonight's honorees. A few additional city leaders that I failed to mention earlier that I'd like to recognize and thank for being here as well. We have staff from the Department of Public Health. We have our Deputy Chief Lazar with SFPD with us, and Chief of Staff Rich Jew from the Sheriff's Office. And also, especially, thank you for everyone who's been here to cheer on their colleague, friend, or family member. It's been beautiful to see you all in the chat, to feel all of the love, to see all of the celebration, and that's what this event is really about. It's been an honor to be here as well with all of you and with our fantastic honorees. Thank you for joining us all tonight, and we look forward to the next time we could be together, hopefully in person. But in the meanwhile, please do follow OSEA on social media and check out our Immigrant Rights Commission website at sf.gov/immigrant rights. Thank you so much. Good evening.